And joining us now is criminal defense attorney Joseph Tully. Joseph, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right. This case, as the U.S. attorney mentioned, made not just national headlines, but global headlines. What stands out to you most about this indictment, this addition of hate crime charges?
So this is really, I think, about sending a message. There are existing state charges. However, because D.C. does not have the death penalty, the maximum for the state charges are life in prison. And if you were just looking at this, economically, you would say, okay, look, the state is going to take care of this case. He's going to be in prison for life. These federal charges, 9 in total, add the prospect of a death penalty. They charge murder, they charge hate crime, they charge terrorism, death of a foreign official. So it really is about sending a message in imposing the death penalty.
And the message aligns with what the administration has said, the president saying that he does want to see the death penalty back on the table for very serious, very violent crimes. What does the process look like to get the death penalty in this case?
Sure. So in order to get the death penalty in this case, the prosecution would have to prove at trial either the hate crime allegation or the terrorism allegation. So in terms of the hate crime, it's a difficult charge in the sense that they have to prove it was motivated by anti-Semitism. They can't, the defense could show that it was a political motivation and beat the death penalty on that one. However, I believe with the addition of the terrorism charge, the defense can't have it both ways, or the prosecution can have it both ways. If the defense is able to say this is politically motivated, then I think that would establish the death penalty under the terrorism charge. So I see kind of the government seeking the death penalty and being able to get it no matter which way the defense goes.
And whichever way you look at it, this was a heinous crime, more than 20 shots fired. It appears by all indications that these folks were targeted as they exited the Capitol Jewish Museum. How rare is it for federal hate crime charges to include the possibility of the death penalty?
They're fairly rare, but they do exist, and they are used in very extreme cases, such as this. These are crimes where Ms. Pirro said that they're eligible for the death penalty, and we're going to seek it. The heinousness of the pre-planning, of the callousness and executing the attack, shooting the woman as she was trying to crawl away, for example. These are instances where prosecutors can make the decision, is this case worthy of the death penalty? And because of the callousness and the brazenness and the violence of it all, they've chosen to apply the death penalty here. In addition to, the state charges, they could have left it up to the state. He would have been in prison for life, most likely for these allegations. But they're really sending the message here of going after the death penalty. And I think they're going to secure it either way.
And that message you mentioned is key, and it aligns with the president, his push, the White House's push against anti-Semitism, it seems.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's definitely part of the Trump administration's agenda to stop anti-Semitism, to stop hatred against all groups, and protect citizens against violence, and particularly vulnerable populations.
All right, Joseph Tully, thank you so much for joining us, as always, and your insight.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
Moving on now, construction at 2 Silver Spring schools is on hold after Montgomery County Public Schools cited rising costs and earlier planning oversights. Plans for classroom science lab spaces for student support services at Silver Spring International Middle and Highland View Elementary put on pause, even as some work like a new gym continues. The district says the